Hey besties, come with me to KCON. So I'm currently attending school in Orange County, but I'm back home in Northern California for the summer, so we drove back down to my school apartment to stay there for the weekend, and of course I had to bring my puppy Kiwi with me. We got in late on Thursday night and went to sleep. On Friday, we didn't attend the convention because my friend was working, but we went to the Spectrum Mall in Irvine. And afterwards, we went to the movie theater and saw Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Then on Saturday, first day of the convention, we stood in line for check-in for an hour and a half. The first event that we went to was the Kepler pop-up talk, and then we randomly ran into TO1 while walking around. Then we went to see ATEEZ. Then we went to get food, and unfortunately, because we have no brain cells, got lost for like half an hour. A little hangry. But we made it in the end, walked around the convention some more. And then I coincidentally ran into this girl who was wearing the same dress as me. It was very cute. Got home, changed, bought some batteries for my light stick. Then on Sunday, day 2 of the con, I was in much better spirits this day because we didn't have to do the whole check-in thing again. We went to Bibigo stand and got some free dumplings and chicken. Then we went to Dream Stage with Luna, where fans auditioned to dance with them on stage at the KCON concert. The girls themselves came out to do the winner announcement, and it was so touching to see the winners' reactions. After that, I went to Time to Dance with Uju Sonyo. Saw NMIXX. Went to Starbucks to grab some lunch, and then we coincidentally passed by the arena while NCT Dream was rehearsing. The last convention event that I went to was this Uju Sonyo panel where they did dance challenges with their fans. It was so cute. Walked about a mile to a nearby Target to grab some food and cool off, and then it was time for the concert! Yeah, I'm not going to share a lot of my concert videos because honestly they didn't turn out that well, and I know that there are a lot of way more quality fan cams out there, but I had a lot of fun. Cried like a baby during NCT Dream's set. And yeah, that's my KCON experience. I'll give my more complete thoughts in a second, but first I wanted to do a freebies haul. These are all of the goodies that I picked up just walking around the convention. They gave us this tote bag, which is objectively quite ugly. Speaking of which, I wanted to use this tote on the second day, but I forgot to pack it, so I was really sad about that. Next up, I did this 5-second challenge thing where you had to complete a given task within 5 seconds. Mine was to stack 3 little toy chairs, and if you did it successfully, they gave you a prize, but they were really nice about it and let me try multiple times and didn't even time me. So I won a KF94 mask and this little hair clip with this balloon of the KCON mascot. Next, at the TO1 and Kepler store, you just had to show them that you subscribed to Kepler and TO1's YouTubes, and they gave you this little receipt thingy and a postcard, and then these candies. It was hosted by Wake One because that's TO1 and Kepler's company. I actually haven't tried these yet, so let's do a taste test. Yeah! Oh, okay. I think the one that I picked is cherry flavored, and I hate cherries. Next up, at the Melona stand, they let you spin a wheel and then get a prize. So I won this pin, and they also gave me this free sticker sheet. I received this little Jimin. Somebody was just handing them out. Same thing with this Seungkwan, also from a fan. I got this NCT Dream banner that I used during the concert. Shout out to Neo Cafe in LA for doing this banner project. They also gave me this little postcard and this photo card. And then from bro, this candy tastes so bad. I'm like getting angry. And then from a skincare booth, they were doing this thing where you roll dice, and then if you get like an even number, then they give you a free goodie. But it was really funny. I rolled an odd number, but then the staff member there just like flipped the dice for me so that it would be correct. Another skincare booth, they were doing this thing where there was a staff member doing K-pop choreo. By the way, she was totally killing it with no music. And if you could successfully guess the song that she was doing, you would get goodies. So I did it and got this toner. We actually used this on the day because we were like sweaty from walking around, so we went to the bathroom and then like splashed water on ourselves and then dried off, and then we just used the toner to wipe down, and I felt amazing and refreshed. So yeah, shout out to Farmstay. Oh, I forgot to mention this earlier. I also got this from the TO1 and Kepler booth. It's a little keychain. I'm happy because I got my bias. Yes, so got this KCON sticker, and then I got this. These are like acne patch. I don't know. They were just giving them out. I don't know. And then there was this airline there that had a photo booth, and they actually printed the photos really nicely. So I'm happy about that. I'm gonna put them in my little scrapbook. And yeah, that's all of the freebies that I got from KCON. I'm really happy with this haul. I didn't spend a single cent on merch or anything like that, and I got a ton of cool stuff. So costume change. So overall thoughts on KCON. It is a very cheap convention ticket. It's only $50 for the entire weekend, which A, it's a steal. But B, you can definitely feel the cheapness. The entire convention takes place in a single hall of the convention center, and like on the site when it has event descriptions and it lists like the different locations for these events, the different locations are just different spots of the same big hall. So especially when there are a lot of idol events going on at the same time, it can be pretty overwhelming because like at a single given moment you could be hearing 3 different songs blasting and like 3 different crowds of fans screaming. It was honestly kind of like a sensory nightmare. We did eventually get used to it, but I can see how this would be a big problem for some people. Because everything was just in one hall, like the events that involved dancing and stuff like that, the idols were not on a raised stage a lot of the time. There were a couple places, but in general, they were just on floor level with you. So if you are short and you're not in the first 1 or 2 rows, you're pretty much not going to be able to see anything. It was really crowded a lot of the time too because everybody's trying to get close and see. I remember that when I went to NMIXX Drop the Dance, I literally was like standing like this so that I wouldn't be directly touching anybody. That was like the only way. Despite the difficulties, I ultimately still found the convention experience to be worth it. For me, a lot of it was just like the novelty of being able to see the idols up close in a non-performance setting, and they were really sweet about it, even though they were probably tired from being shepherded back and forth to different convention events and probably super jet lagged. They were still really sweet and tried to interact a lot, and that was really fun. I wasn't super interested in any of the other panels or workshops or anything like that. And also KCON is heavily corporatized. Pretty much every booth that is there is from a company that has some sort of sponsorship deal with the convention. So it's not like other conventions where you might see fan artists selling their merchandise and things like that. Everything is going to be like some brand product. So I wasn't really interested in that stuff either, although as you saw, I picked up a lot of goodies and that was fun. We had a much better time on the second day than the first day because we knew what to expect and we had a better game plan. So I would say if you're going to KCON, first of all, wear comfy shoes, wear sunscreen, drink water, and have a plan, know exactly which events you want to go to, and try to show up to them like 15-20 minutes early to beat the crowds, and you'll have a good time. As for the concert, for me this was definitely worth it. The ticket was pretty much what I would expect to pay for an event like this. I had a great view and I thought it was a good deal considering how many different artists that I got to see, and they all put on an amazing show. I was a little disappointed by a couple of things. First of all, NCT Dream only performed 4 songs, which I thought was really surprising considering they were definitely the biggest artist of the night, and they saved their performances for last, and it seemed like they were really hyping them up, only for them to perform a shorter set than some of the other artists that were there on that same night. And to add insult to injury, Chunlo literally was like, guys, don't get tired yet, NCT Dream is just beginning, and then they literally did one more song and then left. So I guess the moral of the story is that I shouldn't have trusted a man. I don't know. Also, Stacy only performed 2 songs, which I think is ridiculous. Like, I didn't even get to ASAP. I came here to ASAP. But aside from that, I really enjoyed the concert. And yeah, that's my complete spiel, I guess, on KCON. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm still not very good at video making. There's still a lot that I have to learn, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and toodles!